Greetings, ladies and mental genets, Rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! With another 10 rankings. Seeing how the topic of the last video was best non-generic synchro monsters, it's only natural that we do non-generic eckseed monsters as well. This includes all eckseed monsters whose summoning condition isn't just any two monsters of a specific level. That said, let's look at some dishonorable mentions before we start. That being eckseed monsters that aren't generic, but might as well be considering the ways people go about summoning them. The first of them being Cyber Dragon Infinity, which would usually require 3 level 6 machine type monsters or ranking up Cyber Dragon Nova, but was instead abused by Pleiades, which is thankfully now banned in the OCG. And the other monster, Utopia the Lightning, which would require 3 level 5 light monsters, but is instead simply brought out by using the regular Utopia as eckseed material, turning it into a goddamn 5k attack Armades. With that said, let's take a look at our number 10, or should I say number 66, Master Key Beetle. A very welcome addition to any Dark Eckseed deck, Master Key Beetle allows you to detach one of its materials to give one card you control protection from destruction effects as long as the beetle is face up on the field, and if the beetle will be destroyed, you can send one of the targeted cards to the graveyard instead. Basically, you can use this guy to protect each and every floodgate, field spell or monster you need to keep alive for your strategy to work. You can even protect Vanity's Emptiness from getting blown up by its own effect, making it significantly harder to deal with. It also has very good attack stats for rank 4, making for a decent beater in a pinch. And let's not forget the Ignite ruling fiasco, where people thought that you could protect an Ignite in the Pendulum Zone from being destroyed and then search your entire deck in one turn, which thankfully turned out to not be true. Still, it shows that Master Key Beetle is definitely a card deserving praise for its great protection effect. Making a splash at number 9 is Mermail Abis Gallos. While he has eckseed materials, level 5 or higher monsters cannot attack, and you can use his quick effect to detach one eckseed material to negate the effects of all of your opponent's monsters until the end of the turn. Well, ones that have less attack than him, but the opponent probably won't have a 2900 attack monster, which effect he will wanna use against this guy. Can't you see why Abis Gallos is great? While his attack prevention can also slightly harm mermails, it also stops the opponent's stronger monsters from attacking, and if they dare use a Constellar Exciton, you can easily just negate it, making this card one whale of a problem to deal with. Sure, mermails have enough OTK tools on their own, but Abis Gallos works great as a watered down skill drain, very welcome in their extra deck. Watered down, fucking comedy gold. Spot number 8 is taken by Kali Yuga, the Twin Dawn Overlord. This is a rank 8 fiend which requires 2 level 8 DD monsters to be summoned and negates the effects of all other cards on the field on the turn it's summoned. You can detach one eckseed material from Kali Yuga to set one contract, spell or trap card from your graveyard to your side of the field, which is of course DD support, but the reason why Kali Yuga is on this list is its other effect. During either player's turn, by detaching one material, you can destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So basically, back row is completely worthless against this card. Even if the opponent has 5 face downs when it's summoned, unless one of them is Solemn Warning, they can activate none of them and they'll just get destroyed anyway. And this works on either player's turn. Not much gets over this thing in terms of attack points either. 3500 is way higher than anything relevant in the meta, so this is pretty much the boss monster for DDs, that is until Reiji pulls another one out of his ass soon enough. DDs are sorta considered rogue tier in the OCG, and Kali Yuga certainly helped make them relevant enough, considering it's a heavy storm on a 3500 body. What will also probably help is that we're getting a DD structure deck soon enough, and we can probably expect it to be at least as good as the Master of Pendulum one, meaning we might see more Kali Yuga and other DDs in the meta. Number 7. Constellar Pleiades. No, he doesn't count towards dishonorable mentions because he was made before Ptolemaeus. Still though, the fact that people replaced their Cyber Dragon Infinity with this card just so they could use its fantastic bouncing effect says a lot. And understandably so, because not only can you target any card in the field regardless of position, but you can also do it on either player's turn. Pretty much the best eckseed monster Constellars have to offer, Pleiades also serves as good fodder for Ptolemy M7 when out of eckseed materials. And holy shit, that's some good artwork! I wish I could be as cool as this guy! What is he pointing at? I don't know, but I wanna go there. Lead me, Pleiades! He's just a card though, he can't lead me anywhere. Next up is likely the sweetest monster on the list, Ma Dolce Queen Tiaramisu. Other than being cute as a bee's knees, my Dolce Queen Tiaramisu is also the force of Satan itself! Since you can detach one eckseed material from her to target 2 Madolche monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then shuffle 2 cards your opponent controls into the deck as well. Without targeting. To emphasize, this is a deck that focuses on quickly pumping out level 4 Madolche monsters, so making Tiaramisu isn't really too much of a hassle for them, and if you don't have any protection ready, you should be very afraid, which is an advice that goes when you're dealing with any girl and not just Tiaramisu. Oh come on, it was too easy! It was too easy, did you really expect me not to do it? At number 5 soars Lightning Chidori. I wasn't sure whether to put it before or after Queen Tiaramisu, but I suppose it's slightly more versatile considering you don't need a specific archetype to summon it. When it's summoned, you can spin a set card to the bottom of the deck, and once per turn by detaching an eckseed material, you can return a face-up card to the top of the deck. Needless to say, this is a great amount of versatility for just one rank 4 monster, allowing you to get rid of potential back row or flip effect monsters, as well as take care of other problematic face-up cards. Being wind attribute sorta limits the range of this card's usage, but Yusendrus and Magispectors to an extent feel right at home with this big bird. Not much else to say other than stating the obvious, that this card is a definite staple in wind-based eckseed decks. Number 4 is taken by the fierce duo of Evilswarm, Laggia and Dolka. These 2 Dino Dragons were the essence of the devastating and hilariously named Dino Rabbit deck from some time ago. Laggia being able to negate any monster summon or spell and trap activation by detaching 2 materials, and Dolka being able to negate any monster effect by detaching 1, was one of the most difficult stun strategies to get over, especially considering that Rescue Rabbit was unlimited. This tiny little thing led to people unironically running fucking Cabazoles in the year of our Lord 2011. And then they made him limited. If that doesn't explain to you the power of Laggia and Dolka, I'm not sure what will. Infestation spreads as Evilswarm Ophion takes the number 3 spot. I personally believe there's no better card to prove Konami's obsession over rank 4 eckseeds and how little of a shit they give about synchros and most other summoning categories for that matter than Evilswarm Ophion. As long as Evilswarm Ophion has eckseed material attached to it, level 5 or higher monsters cannot be special summoned. Also you can detach 1 material to add an infestation card to your hand, but you'll most likely use this only once. This is the single card that made Evilswarm sort of able to stand up against full power Dragon Rulers back in 2013, and while they really don't do anything nowadays, you can count on the fact that Ophion will pretty much stop any rogue deck not focusing on eckseeds or tribute summoning dead in its tracks. This guy also prevents me from summoning heavy Fright Train Derrick Rain, and that's why I hate him from the bottom of my soul. That's why I use Axe of Fools. For fools against fools. Order your Axe of Fools today. Upon number 2 shines Stellarknight Driver. He requires 3 Stellarknight monsters to be summoned, which is not really a problem for them, and bounces back all other cards on the field to the hand upon summon, and not only that, but you can also detach 1 eckseed material per turn to discard a random card from your opponent's hand, which is likely gonna be one of the ones you send back to it. Also, upon getting destroyed, it special summons a Stellarknight from your graveyard, allowing you to reset your plays and go into a nice plus. To be honest, I have nothing interesting to say here. It's a Stellar staple and one of the reasons why they won this year's World Championship. Mass non-destruction, non-targeting removal, hand destruction, revival, Driver's got it all. In fact, I think he is easily the best card on this list if we're looking from a purely competitive standpoint, but we'll soon get into why the number 1 is number 1. Before finishing off, let's have some honorable mentions. Ice Beast Zero Fine for negating all of the opponent's cards and gaining 300 attack for each for 2 turns, Gorgonic Guardian for the amazing attack reduction effect, and Norito the moral leader for basically being Shien. Sadly there aren't enough relevant level 6 spellcasters to use him. And to finish up this list, at number 1 is the incredible number 86 Heroic Champion Rongominiad. So why exactly? Well, usually when people talk about a floodgate, they over-exaggerate by saying, oh, it prevents you from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! To emphasize its power. Whereas Rongo over here is the card that comes closest to actually disabling the opponent from playing the goddamn game. If you manage to summon it with 5 materials, which is not too hard in Ignites or Stellars, you've basically won the game already. Your opponent's field is empty, the guy is unaffected by card effects, the opponent can't summon, he's got tricky attack, it's a game ender 5 or so on. It's not as competitive as Thriver, but good luck ever bringing Thriver out if the opponent ever happens to have this out on the field. Number 86 cements the status of rank 4 as the most obnoxiously powerful rank in the game, and Warriors as the most dominant monster type. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to Rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! And remember to subscribe for more Rank 10 videos. Farewell.